Join the HN Live family with its new video platform, HN Live Plus.
Oh! No. Oh, it's over! Whoa!
Not only will you get a platform with paywalls and copyright protection, but also 4K streaming at the lowest pricing with customer support.
Here comes Boyle on a breakaway. 5-hole scores!
HN Live Plus will also bring high-quality video production, video editing, and social media support to help grow your brand. Join the fastest growing sports streaming company in North America, HN Live Plus. Call today and showcase your content. following is a presentation of HN Live in partnership with Adrenaline Source for Sports.
What a move! Oh my goodness! How did that stay out? I thought it was in. Unbelievable!
And how about that? Score!
He scores!
He scored! That is beautiful. Scores! In this game, exceptional. And the champion of the John Reid Memorial Tournament.
We are live inside Service Credit Union Place in St. Albert, Alberta, and the Troy Murray Arena. Good morning, I'm Sean Mullen, and buckle up for what should be a high-scoring affair between Okanagan Hockey Academy, Edmonton, and the Calgary International Hockey Academy. In each team's first games at the John Reid Memorial Tournament. These are two of the top teams in the CSSHL U15 Prep League that are set to hook it up. They've played each other 4 times in league play so far this season. Early in the year, OHA Edmonton won 8-6 and 7-6 in a series in Calgary, and then just recently, this past weekend, they split 2 games, with Calgary winning 5-2 and OHA Edmonton winning 9-3. So what can we expect? I'd say a lot of offense between these two teams. And when they've got some of the weapons they've got, that shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. Looking over at the Calgary International Hockey Academy, we'll have to keep our eye in particular on Kai Dingwell, who leads his team in league play with 21 goals and 25 assists for 46 points, over 2 points a game on the season so far. As dangerous as anybody on the ice today, although CIHA does have depth scoring as well. They've got 11 players with 20 points or more. For OHA Edmonton, Micah Montgomery, their leading scorer, with 11 goals and 25 assists for 36 points in 16 games. See him surrounding his goaltender as they get geared up for this action. But they've got some depth in scoring as well. OHA Edmonton has 11 players, folks, who have at least a point per game in league play so far. What does that tell you in terms of expecting a high-scoring game? I feel for the goaltenders at both ends. They are going to be extraordinarily busy and tested as the teams gather with their coaches. Ouija Sung for CIHA and Aaron Menard for OHA Edmonton. Famous name on the bench for OHA Edmonton, Jason Strudwick, an assistant coach there. Former Western Leaguer Brody Sutter is on the bench for Calgary International Hockey Academy as an assistant. So some hockey bloodlines on display in terms of the coaching as well. And the teams are coming to center ice. OHA Edmonton in their white jerseys with the black and red trim. Calgary International Hockey Academy in the blue with gold and white. Two teams that will be among the contenders here at the John Reid, and we are underway. And a face-off win for Calgary and a quick whistle, just like that. Chuddik taking the face-off here for CIHA. Was key in their victory over OHA Edmonton the other day. There's St. Louis. Dumps it in behind the net. Owen Germain in net for OHA Edmonton played the puck. They try and clear it out. And here comes Harvey. Skating up for OHA. Can't get it to the front of the net. And that's broken up and cleared. Going St. Louis. 26 points on the back end this season so far for Calgary. He's a guy who can move the puck for sure. Nice stick there by Gertzenbauer. But OHA Edmonton managed to get it up the wall, not out. Turning back with it, Ian Kim dished it off. Up the wall from Martina, can't clear. Oh, a collision there in the corner. Thrown across the Edmonton zone and cleared up. It's a Battle of Alberta here at the John Reid. The Troy Murray Arena has filled up the stands to each side of us here in the broadcast booth. Thanks for joining us on HN Live. Very proud to bring you premier U15 AAA tournament top talent from throughout North America. And here's a drive for CIHA, chipped just wide by Dingwall. There are scouts all around this arena and all throughout the three rinks at the John Reid, from junior teams and colleges, trying to get an eye on the future as that puck is flicked out of play. And we'll get the starting goaltender for CIHA. Alexander Montembeau, 8-3-1 on the season with a 3.52 goals against average and .890 save percentage. Draw one by OHA. Fed in behind the net. Good battle for it. Be covered up by Montembeau. And another face-off inside Calgary territory. Records in the regular season. OHA Edmonton's been almost unbeatable in CSSHL League play, and that's against a lot of excellent competition. They have a record of 14-1-1 and are the top-ranked team at this stage in the CSSHL. Wrap around here by Weisgerber. He got bodied, sent it out front, no shot. And turned back up ice by Calgary. Dumped into Edmonton territory. There's Gillespie. And he'll move it up to center ice. Fan pass followed up by Gillespie. Deacon Gillespie threw it towards the front of the net. Doesn't get to Weisgerber. Now deflects back to the Edmonton line. And nice job knocking the puck out by Morey. Dump back into OHA territory. Pass to center ice. Deflects into Calgary territory. Nice jump on it there by Levitt. He takes it behind the goal. Levitt centers. That's a little off the mark and cleared out for Calgary. Levitt's got it in the neutral zone. Dishes from Miller. He's in. And a step offside against Miller. With 17 minutes to go, first period of the first game at the John Reid tournament for both these teams. Talked about Edmonton's record. Calgary International Hockey Academy, 15-6-2 in league play in the CSSHL. Definitely no slouch. And they're one of the teams that have handed Edmonton a loss just recently. And here's a chance. Big save made by Germain on a point-blank opportunity as Miller takes a hit. CIHA backed up into their own zone, just thrown to center ice. Levitt deflects it into his own zone, and that'll be chased down out of his net to play it. Germain moved it away from Gertzenbauer. And that's fired down the ice into Calgary territory. Good job getting to it by Lynham back to the line, broken up. Chance to clear for Marion. He'll get that out. And rushed up for a shot. Save made by Germain, and he'll hang on to it. Rowan Germain, 6-0-1 in the regular season with a 3.56 goals against average and an 8.43 save percentage on the season for OHA Edmonton. Gets their first start of this tournament. I imagine we'll see the teams rotate. Goaltenders, busy few days here. As that's deflected to the line and just out, forcing Calgary to have to get onside. Pass up to center ice, and in comes Kim. Down the right wing side, has some room. Kim centers, score! Oh, my goodness! How did that stay out? Montembeault somehow preventing what looked like a sure goal for OHA Edmonton. Well, we've got highlight reels coming on the HN Live and John Reid social media accounts. Make sure to dial that up later. I can only imagine we're going to have another look at that save by Montembeault, as it looked like a sure goal. Great pass by Ian Kim to set it up, and somehow we remain scoreless so far. Draw to the right of the Calgary net. Pelech booted from, no, not booted, just backed off. Two number 17s on the face-off here. One by Edmonton, back to the line. And a shot. That sails high, deflected towards the net. And another save made on it by Montembeault. He'll hold on to that one. And another draw in Calgary territory. Shot's actually a 3-1 advantage so far for Calgary International Hockey Academy. And another draw coming up in their zone. Only one save so far for Montembeault, but it's been memorable. Another draw one here by Edmonton. They've been good on the dot so far. Back into the corner. Coming in from the line, that's deflected. Chance to clear. Held in. Hopping around. And now Calgary able to skate that out. Just dumped down the ice for what'll be an icing call against the Calgary International Hockey Academy, and another face-off in their zone. Kind of stuck in their own end here, as that was iced by Lefebvre. Both these teams have shown well at other tournaments. Only one loss each at the Rocky Mountain Classic back in the fall. They'll be contenders here at the John Reid. You would have to think. Here's Reid shooting. Good save made by Montembeault and cleared out, as Harvey will track that back into his own zone. Long pass misses Pelech, and an icing call this time against Edmonton. Hasn't quite had the pace yet that we'd expect between these two teams. Lots of whistles, feeling each other out. Which is funny because they just played back-to-back games against each other on the weekend. Games that were split, of course. So good confidence boost, I would think, for Calgary, knowing they can beat a team like Edmonton. Come in with more confidence than they would have. And their first two games were very close. Here's Pelech, offside on his entry. Now that said, you get the confidence from the win in the first game of the back-to-back on the weekend, but then Edmonton with a 9-3 victory in the second of the two, and they're kind of restoring their swagger with an effort like that. Curious to see how both these teams respond to what we saw in those games, and of course, a whole different kettle of fish when it comes to a short-term tournament than a long regular season. Every game really matters here in terms of positioning and playoffs and trying to be there amongst the best teams in North America. And showcase yourselves in front of a litany of scouts. As St. Louis rushes up here for Calgary. Threw it towards the front of the net. That's broken up. And turned back up ice for OHA Edmonton momentarily anyway by Pashko. Now dumped right back down the ice into Edmonton territory, but not touched at center. So an icing call against Calgary International Hockey Academy. And back we go. Down the ice into CIHA territory. And not much for high-quality scoring chances outside the one for Edmonton, which was a remarkable save by Montembeault. Puck's behind the net. Moved up the wall by Marion. Held in by Levitt, whose shot missed. On the other side, Harrington fighting to hold it in for Edmonton. Whacks that towards the Calgary goal. Montembeault will just leave it there. St. Louis picks it up, sends it behind the net. Marion couldn't get a stick on that. Now forced out by Calgary. Miller dumps it right back in. There's Marion. Fans on it. Now he'll flick it to center ice and deflect it into Edmonton territory. Good body positioning there in the corner for OHA Edmonton by Lynham. That allows the clear. Here's Levitt. Skates it in onside. Dished it off. Lynham tried to go back to Levitt. Actually to the point, a shot, and a pad save made by Montembeault on Micah Montgomery, who's dangerous anytime he touches the puck. Back comes Calgary. Flicked in deep by Gertzenbohler. And that's moved right back to the Calgary line. Whaling from Martinook. Dingwall, good pressure on him. Look out. Dingwall shooting from a tough angle. Had nowhere to go really with that one, but not a bad idea for that guy to shoot. He's a goal per game player. Montgomery. Dished it off. Long pass. And that is offside as Kim tried to make a nifty little play at the line. Didn't quite work out. Saw Kim score a hat trick in a Rocky Mountain Classic game back in the fall. The depth in scoring for both these teams really impressive, but not on display quite yet in this one. Here's Martinook. Chips that one in deep. In behind the net. Chance to make a quick breakout here. Calgary does. And that'll be dumped into Edmonton territory by LaBelle. Cleared right back out. And there's Duncan Marion. His pass leads to a dump in. 4 players in on the puck battle. Dug out there for Calgary. Back to the line. Here's Joe Marion. To St. Louis shooting. Rebound chance was right there in front for Lefebvre. And Montgomery takes it up ice. Hill center. Broken up by St. Louis, who just safely clears it away. Still nothing on the board between these two high-scoring teams. Gillespie. Harlock. Stick handles through his teammates' legs. Sent it out front, no shot. At the line, held in by Harlock, and only for a moment. Pass deflects before getting to Harvey. There's St. Louis, who moves it behind the net. Played up the wall. Good interception there, but Pellick couldn't control it. Ooh, this cleared out. St. Louis dumps it right back down behind the Edmonton net. Clearing attempt didn't work. Good pressure there for Calgary by Otto. There's a familiar name. Gillespie moves it behind the net. Gets it back. Just threw it out to the neutral zone. Good stick on the play for Edmonton. Oh, and a hard knockdown delivered by Harlock just next to the Calgary bench. As we get a whistle here, an interference call. That's coming up against OHA Edmonton's Harlock. Our first power play of the game. Calgary International Hockey Academy, a chance to open the scoring perhaps on the man advantage. Draw one by Calgary and a quick shot. Covered up by Germain. Opportunity for Liam Nicolet. Germain turns it aside. Calgary has tripled OHA Edmonton in shots so far, 6-3. CIHA gets possession. Here's St. Louis. Working it to the left side. And a shot takes a deflection that Germain has to be cautious of, as that'll come back to the line again to LaBelle. St. Louis dished it over for a one-timer. Nice block by Kim. St. Louis pass that off to Mateos. Into the corner, chucked out front from the corner by Dingwall. Germain forced to make a pad save there. Again, when you're a goal scorer, you'll shoot from anywhere. Try to catch teams off guard. Dingwall did there. Power play down to 110. Cleared by OHA Edmonton. And that'll force a line change for both teams. Calgary trying to get the power play going here. Deflected by Morey into Edmonton territory. Chance to get it out quickly. Gillespie, another clear for Edmonton. And the power play down to 40 seconds. 8 minutes to go. First period. No score yet. Here's Chuddick. Drives wide. Cuts in. Angle cut off well there by Germain, and he'll make the save and keep the puck. Power play down to 27 seconds as a result. And another face-off in Edmonton territory. 2 shots so far for Calgary on the man advantage. And we got a draw to the right of the Edmonton net. Chopped up the wall. Here's St. Louis at the line. Moves it across for a shot attempt by Mateos that's blocked. And here comes Edmonton shorthanded, led by Weisgerber. He'll shoot. Stick save made on it by Montembeault. And the best chance on that Calgary power play might have been Weisgerber shorthanded. .7:12 to go in the first. Calgary 0 for 1 on the man advantage. And a zip shot on net. Oh, it hops back out and went in the net. But was the net off? Referee signal is no goal. Gertzenbohler zipped that shot off the top of the crossbar. Just deflected a little off the top of the crossbar. And it hopped right back in front and deflected off goaltender Germain and in, but appears the net was off. Play dead before the puck went in. Nearly a break there for Calgary, but what a shot by Gertzenbohler. Well, the referees are talking it over still. I think just explaining to Calgary, Bennett Pattison looking for an explanation. Seven minutes to go. First period. Puck behind the Edmonton net and worked right back to center. Flicked in deep by Lavers. Levitt on the wall. Moved it out to the neutral zone. Has a little room to skate. He'll take it. And takes a hit in the corner. Stays with the puck. Nice job by Levitt protecting it. Threw it out front. That's off the stick of Forstall. Now a shot out front for Levitt. Deflects off of his blade. Oh, and Levitt threw it out front. It went off of Chudik's stick and just wide of the Calgary goal. Dangerously close to an own goal. Little move around behind and backhand centering feed by Forstall is off the mark. Here's Lefebvre. Nice move in. 1 against 5, and he takes a hard check. And gets a shove afterwards, courtesy of Whaling. Edmonton starting from their own zone. Only 4 shots on net for this lethal Edmonton team so far in this game. Calgary's done a really good job on puck possession, keeping Edmonton's very dangerous offense at bay so far. Up the middle. Here's Pelech. Tried a drop feed. That didn't work. Just kept the puck instead. Goes back to the line. Slapped by Gillespie wide of the net. Pelech threw it behind the goal, and Rideout goes after it. And that's cleared. Here's Dingwall. Coming in by himself against 3 Edmonton players. Nothing much he can do there. Under 5 minutes to go in the first. Nobody has scored yet. Here's Joe Marion for St. Louis. Top D pair for Calgary. That's dumped down the ice. Gillespie pressured on the forecheck by Light. To the line. St. Louis turns it over. But Morey in to help out. Now Morey's got some room. Trying to drive up the middle, and that's taken away. Then he scores! Morey makes it 1-0. CIHA. Looked like the play was going to get broken up, and Jace Morey, great touch. It's a 1-0 Calgary lead. Defended by Edmonton's Harvey, who came over to try to cut off and drive up the middle. He got a little bit of him to force him a little further outside, but Morey stayed with it. And it is a 1-0 Calgary lead as a result. And a quick icing. Calgary International Ice Hockey Academy. Morey, 10 goals and 22 assists in 23 games this season. In the regular season, as their first goal of the John Reid tournament. And Calgary comes up with it off the draw here. Dumped down the ice. Edmonton starting from their own zone again. Thrown up to Kim. He'll chop that just to the Calgary line, no further. Kim deflects it to Montgomery. Now Kim. He has some room to skate. To Martinick. Now Martinick across the point for Harrington. Down to Montgomery, who takes a check. Forced off the puck, and in comes Kim. Throwing a hit in the corner against Calgary's Pattison. And that's cleared. Fired up to Kim again. Makes a little move and leaves it for Montgomery. And he's defended very well there by Okubo. Kim tries to clear it. Oh. Hansel Kim for CIHA. And Ian Kim out there for Edmonton, by the way. There's two Kims on the ice on different teams. Knocked down by Strudwick at center ice. Throwing a hit on Okubo. In behind the net. Centering feed attempted. Got blocked. Good forecheck here by Edmonton. Strudwick! Stopped by Montembeault. An excellent left pad save on Big Strudwick. 2.5 minutes to go in the period. 1-0 Calgary leading on the goal by Morey. Cleared out. And a rush here by Lefebvre. 1-on-2. Stays with it. Good effort there, as it looked like it'd be broken up earlier, and he stayed determined on the attempt. And an icing forced. So face-off in OHA Edmonton territory. Shots 9-5 in favor of Calgary. And a draw coming up to the left of the Calgary goal, or Edmonton goal. Won by Calgary. And a quick shot. Dingwall got it to the net. And a save made by Germain. Dingwall, of the 10 shots Calgary has, I think he's got 4 of them. Certainly a player with a shooting mentality. That's why he's got 21 goals on the season already. And his team's only played, 22 games. Chance to clear for Levitt. Just shipped it ahead. And a little bit of speed up for Edmonton by Forstall. Broken up. And here's Joe Marion. Offside as he delayed a bit, trying to come in over the Edmonton line. And we'll get a neutral zone face-off. A whistle-filled first period here has taken us from an 11:15 start time to already 11:50. They'd love to see the periods fly by a little faster, I'm sure, trying to keep everything on time. Here's St. Louis. And he'll send it in deep. Out of his net, Germain moves it to the corner. And not whistle-filled for penalties, only the one penalty. Just lots of icings, offsides, goalie whistles, what have you. Here's Levitt. Drives wide. Tried to tuck that one in short side. Ran out of real estate. Dingwall. Matheos dishes it off. Now center. Dingwall can't get his backhand on goal. That's blocked in front. Nice defensive effort for Edmonton by Harvey. Now they've got 4 on the rush. Levitt, one-timer. He got too much of that one. And out of play it goes. Well, there's that transition offense for OHA Edmonton that has been held at bay so far in this game. A little block made in front by Harvey, and he sees the room to join the play, creates that 4-on-2 situation. And Levitt was in a tremendous position to get a shot. Still 1-0 Calgary International Hockey Academy. Draw one by CIHA. Pelech dumps it right back in. Forechecked hard by Rideout. Back to the line, scores! Tie game! A quick point shot beats Montembeault. Edmonton is on the board on the goal by Nate Harrington. Great job by Edmonton after Calgary had won the face-off in their own zone. Put it out to the neutral zone, and again, very quick transition by OHA. Went right back on the attack, drew the Calgary defenders towards their goal, and opened it up for the shot by Harrington, who just snuck in a bit on the left point. And the key to that play being successful was how fast the puck came off Harrington's stick. No time to adjust for Montembeault in goal or for the Calgary defenders. One motion into the back of the net, and it's a 1-1 game. Here's Lefebvre. Makes a move at center ice and skates it in. Nice rush here by Lefebvre. Tried to center. Rebound! Oh, how did that not go? A wide open look on the rebound in front. Play to the line. Here's Hansel Kim. Dished it off, and a point shot by Duncan Marion. Rebound knocked wide. Final seconds of the period. The puck flicked high at the buzzer, and OHA Edmonton survives the final moments of the frame to get into the intermission in a tie game. It was Jace Morey scoring the goal for the Calgary International Hockey Academy. Well, OHA Edmonton responds with an effort from Nate Harrington. It is a 1-1 hockey game after one at the John Reid Memorial Tournament on HN Live.
Join the HN Live family with its new video platform, HN Live Plus.
Oh, no. Oh, it's over. Whoa.
Not only will you get a platform with paywalls and copyright protection, but also 4K streaming at the lowest pricing with customer support.
Here comes Boyle on a breakaway. 5-hole scores.
HN Live Plus will also bring high-quality video production, video editing, and social media support to help grow your brand. Join the fastest growing sports streaming company in North America, HN Live Plus. Call today and showcase your content.
Jace Morey opened the scoring in our first period. And a response from Nate Harrington made it a 1-1 game after one between OHA Edmonton and the Calgary International Hockey Academy in a Battle of Alberta here at the Troy Murray Arena in the John Reid Memorial Tournament. And we're off in second period action. I'm Sean Mullen. Puck dumped down the ice for an icing call against OHA Edmonton. Shots on goal in that first period favored Calgary by a 12-8 margin. And they got the first goal of the game from Morey, and a late marker on a point shot by Nate Harrington tied it up. That's where we stand. A game we expected to be high scoring, as these teams have put up big numbers against each other in 4 regular season games. So far, only 2 on the board. Here's a chance side of the net. Save made by Germain for Edmonton, and away goes Ian Kim. Threw it towards the net. Stick saved by Montembeault. And forced out for Calgary. Backhanded by Gertson Bowler. Over for a chance. And Nicolat can't pull the trigger on it. Long pass hit off Gillespie's skate. Edmonton gets possession. Harvey up to Ian Kim. Good delay there and threw it to the corner. Picked up though for Calgary and cleared by Matheos. Turned it over to Ian Kim. Kim shooting. Blocked. Gets his own rebound. For Montgomery behind the net. Harrington's on the point. He's got the goal for Edmonton. Good dig for it down low. Backhand try by Edmonton's ride out. And Montembeault makes the save. Pass did catch a piece of... Oh, it didn't. I thought it caught Dingwall there, and he's reacting like it did. Linesman call it icing against Calgary. I'm pretty darn sure Dingwall caught a piece of that puck. No instant replay on icings. And a draw coming deep inside Calgary territory as a result. Face-off won by Calgary and cleared. Here's Dingwall, offside. Oh, right back to a whistle-heavy second period. We're set up right in the middle of the stands in the Troy Murray Arena, one of 3 rinks here at the John Reid Memorial Tournament. Lots of hockey with extraordinary talent. Teams that are contenders in their leagues all throughout. If you win this one, you'll have beaten the best to get there. Good physical play in the corner. Chance to clear. Forced out by Calgary and dumped down the ice into Edmonton territory by LaBelle. Up the wall for Rideout. Quick little deflection. And away comes Pellick. His rush forced into the corner. Trying to backhand that out front. Centering feed by Edmonton's Harluck. Now a clearing attempt. Pellick intercepts that. Threw it out front. And the net comes off the moorings after the setup to Pashko. We'll get another draw in Calgary territory. Nothing doing against Montembeault, who may end up on our highlight reel later on today after he made a save on a cross-crease pass by Ian Kim back in the first period. Watch HN Live, social media, Instagram, TikTok, X, Facebook, YouTube. Got highlights scattered throughout all those different social media channels of all the great plays from this tournament throughout the next 4 days. That's backhanded across the Edmonton zone by Jason Kim and moved up. Centered behind Weisgerber and cleared out. Strudwick on it. He chases it down behind the net. Strudwick just looking like he's 3 or 4 years older than everyone else on the ice. Back in behind the Edmonton net. Poked at for Calgary by Otto. Chance to clear, comes to Pashko. Nice long pass. And his feed doesn't connect with Weisgerber, and he didn't get to the red line, so it's an icing call instead. And a face-off back down in Edmonton territory. 1-1 game. Draw to the left of Germain coming up. Again, you look back at the games played between these two clubs. 8-6, 7-6 for Edmonton in the first two in league play. Then a 5-2 Calgary win just this last weekend, followed by a 9-3 Edmonton win. So all but one of them really high scoring, and that game still had 7 goals. This one, we're stuck at just 2 so far. Will it break open? Pass up the middle. There's some room. Weisgerber shot it wide after good defensive pressure by St. Louis. St. Louis has got it. Slows it down, banks it ahead for Nicolat. He takes a hit as he deflects that ahead. Chuddick shooting. That misses the net far side. Ooh, look out. Clown car situation at the door for Calgary. Nearly caught in a too many men situation. And that's forced out into the neutral zone. 3-on-2 here. Nicolat now turns into a 2-on-1. Centered. Scored! Bennett Pattison. Great read to follow up on the play and make it a 2-1 Calgary International Hockey Academy lead. An aggressive play in the neutral zone on a 3-on-2 for OHA Edmonton ends up costing them. You'd much rather defend a 3-on-2 than a 2-on-1. That took 2 players out of it. Turned into a 2-on-1 that was finished by an alert pinch into the rush by Bennett Pattison. Pattison, second leading scoring defenseman for Calgary in the regular season with 3 goals and 20 assists, just over the point per game mark. You have to think of the many scouts that are here. He's one of the guys they have their eyes on. It's always fun to watch the different jackets that you see in attendance here. Here's a quick chance for Calgary. Shot attempt by Sexton got blocked. I think really we should all play. A knockdown there in the neutral zone by Calgary's Lavers on Ian Kim. It should be one of those games where you got to find one jacket from every Western Hockey League team by the time you're done watching the scouts. It continued on between Ian Kim this time and Mateos. Well, Kim got hit in the neutral zone earlier by Lavers. Then him and Matheos got into it inside Calgary territory, and Matheos went one step too far. Little extra slash. Ian Kim getting under the skin of the Calgary International Hockey Academy. And it'll be the first power play of the game. Oh no, no power play. Kim's going too. Initially there was just a Calgary player in the penalty box, then they went and got an Edmonton player as well. So it remains 5-on-5. Had my head turned for a second thinking we're getting power play action. No dice. Here's Pelech. Drives to the net. His centering feed broken up. And the net has come off its moorings in the process of that drive. And we'll get a draw inside Calgary territory. Packed house, not a big seating area at the Troy Murray Arena, so almost every spot that can be filled is filled. On the benches anyway. Two teams that are not from far away, so Edmonton, of course, right here. And they'll get the rush. Pelech shooting, stick save Montembeault. I'm sure Calgary parents are used to traveling at least this far, so there's probably quite a number of them here with us too. The great thing is, if you got friends and family who can't be here, they can keep track of the tournament through HN Live. Puck inside Edmonton territory, 13:30 remaining. Second frame, 2-1, Calgary leading. Go ahead goal by Pattison. Here's Harluck. Tried to center that to Reid out off the mark. Pelech driving towards the net. Tries to cut out and tuck it there. Montembeault was sprawled out, but not enough room. Harluck after it behind the net. Came out front, and again the net comes off. You know, that's going to be something we have to follow here. The dreaded loose net situation. And as soon as players know about it too, these are smart, hockey sense-filled young men. Once they know that net comes off easily, second they sense a little bit of trouble, just a tight little lean on it. Nothing you can definitively say was over the line. Great chance right off the draw there for Edmonton. Montembeault's been good in this game. Strudwick wins the puck. Left to Treweisgerber. And he tried to drive the net. Good stick from Joe Marion to break that up. To the line. Over to the right point now. A shot. And a save by Montembeault on Gillespie. Edmonton has started to really control the puck here the last few minutes. They've evened the shot clock at 14 apiece, and Calgary came in with a 12-8 advantage to this period. 6-2 shots in favor of OHA Edmonton in the first 7.5 minutes of the second frame. Still hasn't really got the pace to it that we expected yet. Puck held in here by OHA Edmonton's Lynham, but only for a moment. Lynham tracks it back down in his own zone and turns it over. Oh, I don't know what happened there. Maybe offside? Yeah, offside. Good call. CIHA in ahead of the play. A little delay on it, and we'll get a draw just outside of Edmonton territory. Grab now for OHA and skated ahead by Forstall. He's got Levitt with him. Forstall goes wide. Shooting, missed. Comes back to Harrington, who's got the goal for Edmonton. He'll get it to the net and hit Levitt. And that's deflected out for Calgary. Here comes Dingwall. Oh, and Sexton was in ahead of him on the right wing side on the entry, and another offside, which has been one of the stories of the game here, is neither team's been really able to get their flow to this game. Not a lot of rush chances. And when they've had them, they've been dangerous. Ian Kim set one up in the first. That was a great save by Montembeault. We saw a 2-on-1 just a few minutes ago that was buried for Calgary by Pattison. But mostly the teams have defended quite well. Forced the cycle game, kept the play to the outside. Disrupted the skill. Here's Sexton. Enters and shoots. Blocker save. Dingwall grabs the rebound. Pass deflects across the Edmonton zone. Kept alive by Sexton. Whaling back for it. He's tracked down and forced off the puck. Good forecheck here by Calgary's Lefebvre. Mason Kim comes up with it. Oh, Lefebvre's hurting. Something happened to Lefebvre behind the play, and he's got his head in his hands. He's in some pain. And he's reacting like he's really in some discomfort here. Now cheers him on as he's up. Hopefully Ryder Lefebvre is okay. It doesn't last long, so that's the positive sign. We get a face-off. It looks like it'll be outside Edmonton territory as the Calgary player was down on the ice. 11:05 to go, second period. 2-1, Calgary leading. They have the lone goal of the second frame. They've had each lead in this game so far. Hard knockdown there by Edmonton's Harvey. Some physical play. Now centered. A little delay before the shot by Gertzenbohler and not able to get it through. Centered. Oh, what a chance, point blank for Nicolat. And Germain's there. You're not going to get a much better chance than that. Calgary putting some pressure on here. Ian Kim goes to find it on the wall. Oh, and he's hit. Back to the line, a shot by Hansel Kim that just missed. And Calgary comes close to extending their lead as Edmonton is forced to take an icing call. Just when it felt like Edmonton was building a little momentum inside Calgary territory, there's a response shift by CIHA, especially after there was an injury to one of their players. They came out, got some energy from it, generated some chances, including the best one, certainly for Liam Nicolat, who was point blank, all alone in front of the net. Denied by Germain. Face-off win here for Calgary, and a shot by Dingwall turned aside by Germain. It's not the guy you want to see with the puck off a clean offensive zone face-off win if you're Edmonton. Harvey skates it ahead for Ian Kim. Harvey going to the net and throws a pass across the crease. Nobody there. Harlick had it forced off his stick. Montgomery for Harlick. Tried to go back to Montgomery, and he was shadowed effectively by St. Louis. In the corner, Harlick tried to go back to the line with it, and that'll track all the way back down the ice, and Gillespie's got it. His pass goes off right out. And collected now for Calgary. Up the middle to Watto. He has a step, drops it. Oh, what a chance on the stick of Light, but he was disrupted in the process. Looks like a penalty due Edmonton on the play as Jared Otto came in, realized Harvey was going to catch him. Harvey takes a holding penalty. Otto still dropped it to Light to get a scoring chance. And the second power play of the game coming up for Calgary International Hockey Academy. They're 0 for 1. They lead this game 2-1. Little delay before the face-off. One here by CIHA. Pattison, who's got one of their two. Dishes to Sexton. He works it down to Lefebvre. Good to see him back out there. Pattison at the line. Shooting. Rebound. Lefebvre stopped by Germain. And the puck's cleared. Well, it felt like the strip there a little bit for Lefebvre to get hurt, come back, and have a great scoring chance in front, but Germain erased the script. Here's Whaling. Threw it up now for Pelech, shorthanded. Centers! Oh, what a chance on the other side for a pinching Lynham, and he didn't get all of it. That was the right play for sure, as Lynham was in the best position. Back comes Chuddick, scores! Edmonton gets aggressive, shorthanded at one end. It opened the door for Cole Chuddick, and he makes it 3-1 Calgary International Hockey Academy. Power play goal for Chuddick. And that's a big potential turning point moment. A 2-on-1 shorthanded for Edmonton. And their leading scorer on the back end, Braden Lynham, unable to convert it, but then he's all the way at the other end of the ice. And a chance the other way for Chuddick. Good low blocker shot. He makes it a 3-1 Calgary lead. Edmonton looking for an answer. Crowd thought that was offside. And a 2-on-1 maybe the other way. Pass hops off of Maury's stick. Cole Chuddick, 12 goals in the regular season for CIHA, 27 points. Their second leading scorer behind Kai Dingwall in terms of points. He's on the score sheet here. Here's Levitt for OHA Edmonton. Tried to make an extra move, and Joe Marion stopped him. Puck behind the Calgary net now. Joe Marion trying to keep it pinned. Levitt wins it. No one at the right point to go to. So he's got to just keep trying to cycle with it. Dished it now, a centering feed. Backhand try by Eric Miller. That would have been pretty. Didn't connect. Theos wins it for Calgary. Moves it up. Turned it over to Weisgerber. And here's Weisgerber. Centering it. And a shot goes off the glass behind the net. Centered. Oh, and a chance for Strudwick. And a pad save made again by Montembeault, as Edmonton is hungry for an answer. They trail 3-1 with 6:26 to go in the second period. It was a good response shift by OHA Edmonton. They're still being outshot 19-16, but Calgary's had the lone two power plays, I shouldn't say lone, the only two power plays of the game so far. Help them gain that shot advantage. Here's Harrington. Keeps it alive as he's bumped by LaBelle. Back to Harrington once more. Little move out towards the slide area for Edmonton by Pashko, and can't get a clean shot out of it. It'll be another face-off in Calgary territory. 6:03 to go in the second frame. Two teams that definitely could be in the mix as potential contenders here at the John Reid. I know there's still 26 minutes and change left in this game, but you don't see Edmonton with only one goal at this stage of a game very often. Calgary's done a good job on them defensively, and Montembeau's been good in net. And we saw them hold Edmonton to only 2 goals just on the weekend, and one of only 2 losses Edmonton's taken in league play this season so far. And that one's cleared out with a little too much mustard. It'll be an icing call against Calgary, and they realized it. Started to chase, and went, not catching that. Save your energy. More icings for sure than I would have expected in this game. Teams don't want to make a mistake. They know there's a big difference between a game in January in the CSSHL league play and a tournament like this where one loss can completely disrupt your path to a championship. Backhanded up for Nicolat, and he'll steer that ahead. Jae-Sung Kim feeds it ahead. Some speed by Forstall. Threw it towards the net, redirected as Ian Kim was going down. And a save made by Montembeau. Is there a penalty on the play here? No. There's a quick whistle. And Kim appeared to be disrupted a little bit as he went to the net trying to get that puck, but just a face-off inside Calgary territory as a result, as Ian Kim came close. Edmonton needs one. Down by 2. 5:10 to go, second period. Rung around. Otto deflects it. And now we have a penalty coming up. Scrambly around at the boards in Calgary territory. And it's going to be a penalty against Strudwick for OHA Edmonton. So really not what Edmonton needs here. Roughing call against Big Strudwick. And Edmonton already down 3-1 will be shorthanded for the 3rd time in this game. You can certainly see the bloodlines represented in Kane Strudwick. But also when you're that big and that strong, when there's a little bit of battling going on, you're the first one they're going to grab. Here's St. Louis. Dished it off. Pass across. And the shot attempt by LaBelle misses. St. Louis. Oh, good pressure on him by Weisgerber. But taken right back by Kai Dingwall. Here's Nicolat. Dropped it off for Matheos. To the line, St. Louis. Passed it across now, over. And the shot taken by Matheos, stopped by Germain. LaBelle. St. Louis, Matheos shooting. Blocked, rebound! Net is open, Matheos can't get control of it. Edmonton still can't clear. LaBelle racing for it. Leaves it at the line. St. Louis across. Mateos closing. And Germain just caught that between the wickets. Oh, Mateos had a gift waiting for him if he could get control of the puck on a rebound, but just wasn't in a good spot for him. Power play down to 54 seconds. Face off to the left of the OHA Edmonton net, their third penalty of the game. Calgary's not taking any. Here's Pattison. Lost control of it, and here comes Edmonton shorthanded. Powerluck racing down the left side, trying to drive it up front. Numbers game pays off for Calgary there, but they're going to ice the puck here. I don't think that's what Pattison would have had planned. Power play now is going to be stuck back down in their own zone. Down to 30 seconds on the man advantage. .327 remaining, second period. Off the draw, sent towards the Calgary net, and Montembeault makes another save. Here's Sexton. Whaling pressured him. Sexton took it into the corner. Whaling on it, sends it behind the net. Chance to clear for Lynham. Chips it ahead and skated up ice now by Pelech, and he'll dump it into the corner. Power play down to 5 seconds for Calgary. Long feed up to Sexton, and he'll just steer it into the far corner. We're back to 5-on-5. Calgary 1 for 3 on their man advantage today. Here's Montgomery. It's been held in check so far effectively by Calgary. Turns it over there, and Okubo skates it into Edmonton territory. His pass deflects back to the line. Now out front. Backhand feed for Okubo. It hit him in the back of his blade. Couldn't get control of it. And cleared out for Edmonton. Here's Ian Kim. Stops up, waits. Got it back to the line to Lynham. No traffic in front. Lynham tries a slap pass, broken up. Chops that to Montgomery. He'll center, Kim! Blocker save made by Montembeault on a good open look for Ian Kim. Montgomery centering feed. Broken up before Levitt could get it. Back up ice with it, Harvey. Levitt going to the net. Here's Montgomery. Wrapping around behind the net. Makes a little move. Threw it to the goal, and Levitt trying to get to the loose puck and a little extra whack when it was covered. That'll draw a little conversation afterwards. Time I see players getting in there trying to defend their goalie. I think about that Terrell Owens, "That's my quarterback" viral clip from years ago. A little bit of shopping going on before the puck drops there. Minute and a half to go in the second frame. Calgary has built a 3-1 lead, despite being outshot in the period. Nice rush to the net. And a back check to break it up by Forstall is going to draw another OHA Edmonton penalty for a hook. And penalties have hurt. Well, that's Harvey who's going to get the penalty. Penalties have hurt OHA Edmonton in this game. Calgary's 1 for 3 on the man advantage so far. And And Edmonton's not had a chance themselves on the power play. Draw to the right of the Edmonton goal. Calgary would really get a boost. They can strike on the power play late in the second period. Those late period goals always have a little extra emphasis. And if you can build a 2-goal lead into 3, you're looking really good going into the third period, even against a high-scoring team like Edmonton. Here's a chance. Dingwall. No room to tuck it in on Germain. Played back to St. Louis at the line. Fakes the shot. And now he'll let it go, and Germain saw that all the way. Down the stretch we come in the second period. Power play will carry on into the third unless CIHA gets a goal. Draw one by Calgary. Work back to St. Louis. Here's Mattheos. St. Louis. Dish that off. LaBelle put it across. Mattheos can't get to it. Here's a shorthanded rush by Pelech. Harlock with him. Pelech, backhander, tried to tuck it short side. Net comes off the moorings. Referee let it go for a few moments there until Calgary touches the puck. Well, the power play stuck in their own zone here after the net comes off. It's been a bit of a recurring issue in this second frame. Faceoffs have taken a significant time in this game. They should put a clock on them here, like a pitch count. St. Louis behind the net. Cross for Nikolai. He'll dump it in. Didn't get deep. Cleared right back out by Edmonton. Final seconds of the second period, and they're making a change, so nothing's going to happen here. St. Louis just launches a long shot and will catch the buzzer. Calgary, despite being slightly outshot in the period, actually take a 3-1 lead through 2. And the Calgary International Hockey Academy will carry a power play into the third period as well, as they look to knock off one of the favorites, OHA Edmonton, here in their first game at the John Reid Memorial Tournament on HN Live.
Join the HN Live family with its new video platform, HN Live Plus.
Oh! No. Oh, it's over! Whoa!
Not only will you get a platform with paywalls and copyright protection, but also 4K streaming at the lowest pricing with customer support.
Here comes Boyle on a breakaway. 5-hole scores!
HN Live Plus will also bring high-quality video production, video editing, and social media support to help grow your brand. Join the fastest growing sports streaming company in North America, HN Live Plus. Call today and showcase your content.
Bennett Pattison, one of 2 goals for the Calgary International Hockey Academy in the second period as they've pulled ahead. A 3-1 lead for Calgary after 40 minutes of play. Outshooting Edmonton by a 24-20 margin overall. Shots ended up even after they counted in the second period. 12 apiece. Calgary's had the power play advantage. They're in the midst of their 4th. Edmonton has not had any. And this OHA Edmonton team, which is as dominant offensively as any in this tournament, has been held to only 1 goal so far. And a chance for Calgary to extend their lead to 4-1 here on this power play with another 30 seconds left in it to start the third period, which would really put Edmonton in a hole. But if anyone has the offense for a comeback, they're certainly one of the teams. Turnover there by Calgary, and Harlech's away shorthanded. Turns that over. And then given right back by Calgary's LaBelle. In shorthanded Pelech. Harlech heading to the net. That's broken up. That'll do it for the power play. So Calgary 1 for 4 on their man advantage. As Dingwall had that chopped away from him by Pelech. Dumped in right onto the Calgary goal. Germain is there. For Edmonton goal, Martinook. Dumps it in for Edmonton behind the net. Wraparound try by Ian Kim. Just threw it through the crease. Oh, and a close call to a penalty there in the neutral zone. As Montgomery skates back in and shoots it wide. One of those plays where it feels like if it hadn't been 4-0 in power plays for Calgary in the game, that one more likely to be called. And an icing call there. Edmonton's got to be careful with discipline. It's been an issue for them in this game to some degree, and Calgary's been perfect on theirs. Face off to the right of the Calgary goal. Won by CIHA. And they'll clear that up. But another icing call here. Lots of whistles all throughout this game. Draw to the left again of the Calgary net this time. Good winger win for Calgary. But Edmonton gets possession on the clearing attempt. Here's Harvey. Threw it towards the front. Redirected as Forstall tried to make it go. And cleared out by CIHA. Nicely done onto the stick of Chudik, who tried to set one up. He's got a goal in this game. Here's Levitt now. Zips one wide. Trying to go short side on Montembeault. Skated back in for a quick rip on net by Forstall. And a Montembeault save, and out of play it goes. You look at OHA Edmonton's season. Holding them to only 1 goal. About as rare a feat as it gets. We get a draw again inside Calgary territory. And down into Edmonton zone. Up with it. A quick shot attempt by Strudwick. And another save made by Montembeault. He'll hang on. OHA Edmonton, you look at their season, 8 goals, 7 goals, 3, 7, 7, 16, 4, 7, 4. They are not a team that has a game very often where they score less than 3 or 4 goals and normally well above. 5-2 they lost to Calgary, though, in one of 2 games on the weekend. One of only their 2 losses all season, and Calgary found some kind of recipe in that game for how to contain Edmonton, and they brought it into this game as well so far. Backhand out front, knocked down, rebound chance! Oh, it's still loose! And now covered up by Montembeault, and that's just a simple play. Team that plays with a lot of skill, but they just get a puck to the net and get some traffic there, hoping that's going to generate something, and almost does. Montembeault waves off the referee, says he's okay. He's been so important here in this game. Has stopped 23 of 24 shots. Edmonton's got all 4 of the shots in the period so far, evening the clock at 24 apiece. On the scout watch, I've seen at least 3 Western Hockey League general managers today. That's not even just scouts, but actual general managers. I've only been here for 2 periods. They're everywhere. Here's Dingwall. Shot it off the skate just wide. Just during the intermission, I caught Curtis Hunt, general manager of the Prince Albert Raiders, in the house, and boy, they've got a great team this year. Pellick makes a move wide, wraps around behind the net, centers! What a chance and a save by Montembeault on Harlech. A left pad stop, another point blank opportunity. Set up wonderfully as well. And Edmonton can't buy one here. Remains 3-1 Calgary, but on their heels some to start in this third period. CIHA moves that up. Pass hits off Nicolat, and in behind the net it goes. They'll steal the puck as Montgomery lost it. Back to the line, a shot. That wrister from the point from Labors is wide. Pattison tried to dump it back in. Broken up by Martinook. He'll center it. Ian Kim! Oh, his shot took a little deflection, slowed up, and Montembeault had to adjust his timing on the pad save. That's fed ahead by Lynham. Now to the net for Ian Kim! And Montembeault made a save on the pass. Had to get across and make a second stop as well. Edmonton coming hard here to start the third period. A 7-0 run in terms of shots on net, but none of them have beaten young Alexander Montembeault. Tied up draw. It's in the skates there of Forstall. Now Lefebvre's able to move it out. Levitt tries to throw a hit. Oh, and that's going to be a penalty as he got him in the head. Not the time for that for OHA Edmonton, as they were building momentum, generating chances, and Levitt tries to make a hit next to the Calgary bench and just got his hands too high. What an opportunity here for Calgary on their heels to start the third period defending a lead. They go to their 5th power play of the game. 1 for 4. Some comments from the OHA bench. A little bit of frustration as they are shorthanded for the 5th time, have not had a power play themselves, but that's going to be called every time. Once you get the hands up on the head, it's just a penalty. Here's Harlock. Putting some pressure on shorthanded and really getting into it there with LaBelle. Here's St. Louis. He's tripped up in the corner. Pass around behind the net. Matheos has got it. To St. Louis at the line. To Matheos. Closing. Shooting. Jermaine caught a piece of that. And forced out. Harlock. 2-on-0 if he can make the pass off the post. And out of play. Kobe Pellick going to the net as Harlock was trying to get behind the Calgary D, was still pressured when he made the pass over, and Pellick, his shot caught a piece of Montembeault and a piece of the iron. What a chance shorthanded there. Easily could have closed the gap to 1, and Pellick and Harlock, when they're out there shorthanded, are always putting some pressure on. They've had some looks, and they've been the most consistent forward unit for OHA Edmonton on the penalty kill, and not just hanging back when they're out there, especially at this stage of the game, down 2. Calgary has not had a shot in the period, down to 50 seconds on the power play. Pattison moves it across, and a low glove save made by Jermaine on Cole Chuddick, who's got their lone power play goal of this contest. First stop of the period for Jermaine. Next game at this rink, here at the Troy Murray Arena, just to follow this one up, will be Rink Winnipeg against Fairmont. Fairmont out of California. Pattison. Chuddick works it down. The fave back out to Chuddick. Shooting, blocked in front. Power play down to 30 seconds. At the line, Pattison. Dishes that off. Gets it back. Moves it to Chuddick. His shot misses. That just hopped away from Gertzenbohler and played out by Montgomery, who slides it across to Harvey, and Montgomery fell into the Calgary zone after making that play, so that makes it offside. But you'll take an offside, actually, when you're penalty killing at that spot of the ice. Especially 10 seconds left in the power play, you're basically killing off the power play unless Calgary can make a clean play off the faceoff here. Morey gets it back to Marion, now up to center ice. Light had it knocked off his stick. Morey, who opened the scoring, dumps it in. We're back to 5-on-5. CIHA 1 for 5 on their power play. In comes Weisgerber, centering it. Oh, and Ian Kim got a stick to the skates. We're going to see OHA's power play for the first time. And you kind of had a sense that had to be coming here. And it was Kim on Kim. Hansel Kim of CIHA taking the penalty on Ian Kim of OHA. The trip called and a power play opportunity for Okanagan Hockey Academy Edmonton for the first time in this contest as they trail by 2. Lynham somehow protects that puck with 2 players right around him there. St. Louis behind the net. Can't clear it. Little spin move by Forstall. Got it to Montgomery. Sends it down to Ian Kim. Montgomery. Pass out into the slot. Harluck took a shot at it, missed. Ian Kim now pulled back out and covered up by Montembeault as Ian Kim had it and then Forstall just took it and tried to jam it in on the backhand. Power play down to 126 for OHA Edmonton. They keep that same group on the ice. Montgomery, Ian Kim, Forstall, Harluck, and Braden Lynham, their leading point getter on the back end. Tied up draw. Ian Kim jumps on it, gets it back to Lynham. Centering feed broken up. And a little pass attempt by Harluck. Miscommunication forces them out of the zone. And Montgomery tried to come back in, got caught offside. Are they going to get a line change here? Nope. Keep the top unit out there. .11:46 to go, third period. CIHA looking for what might be labeled a minor upset just based on the standings of their league. But again, we've referenced a few times, they do have a win over Edmonton this year. 1 out of 4 games against them. And boy, it'd be a great way to start the tournament if they could hold on here. It's Forstall. Can't get to the net, and that'll be clear. Lynham back for it. 40 seconds left on the power play. No movement by the top unit yet. Lynham stick handles his way in. Here's Ian Kim. Skates it back to the line. He'll pass that down. Centered. Hit Harluck in the skates. And the net comes off the moorings. A little bit of frustrated noise from the Edmonton side of the crowd on that one. As Montembeault kind of leaned into the net. Referee's chatting with him. I don't think that was a Dwayne Rollison move or anything. The master of the timely delay of game. 20 seconds left in the power play. Pelech wins the draw. Harvey. That is pass. Broken up by Dingwall and cleared. And that'll pretty much do it for the man advantage. Here's Pelech. Edmonton 0 for 1 on their power play, and they don't even get a shot on net on it. Good penalty killing by Calgary at a key time. And the back-to-back penalties, 1 to Edmonton, 1 to Calgary, has slowed Edmonton's attack a little bit, oddly, as Pelech comes in. He'll make a move to the net. Pelech with Montembeault down. Sprawled out, he keeps it out of the net. Got his glove on it, and the crowd gathers afterwards. And Pelech arguing for something here. Scrambling moment there as it was driven towards the net by Deacon Gillespie. Nice little rush, saw some space, drove to the goal, and Pelech looking for the rebound. 10 minutes, 12 seconds to go in the third period. Draw deep inside Calgary territory. And Calgary gets the face-off win on the second effort, cleared out to the neutral zone. Here's Harrington, who's got the lone goal of the game for OHA. Pass across the middle, goes down into Calgary territory. Out of his net, Montembeault plays it to the corner. A hit there delivered by Whaling, trying to keep it in, and a rush the other way for Calgary. Shot wide by LaBelle. Popped back out front. They score! What a bounce for CIHA. And it'll be Loic LaBelle getting the goal and a 4-1 Calgary lead. Boy, bending and not breaking all period. Calgary, a simple play off the rush, gets a bounce and buries. And they're in a great position now. It is a 4-1 CIHA lead. 9.5 minutes to go. Normally, you get a goal like that in the scenario that we just saw, pretty confident that you're going to win the game. But let's not forget how much firepower is on this OHA Edmonton roster. If one goes, all of a sudden it could open the floodgates for them, for sure. So Calgary's still got to be really cautious out there. As that one goes off, Strudwick stick high, and he'll touch it for a whistle in the neutral zone. I swear I got to ask if they've checked Strudwick's birth certificate out there. It's like those Cuban kids we used to see at the Little League World Series. Full beard, smoking a cigar. Here's Levitt. Can't get it deep. Had to get onside, does so quickly. Gillespie takes it in. Comes back to the line. Harvey unable to hold it. Miller moves that over to Harvey, and he'll pass to Gillespie. Bouncing around. And that'll be whistled dead inside Edmonton territory. Calgary's done a good job after that quick little chance after their goal of just slowing it down. Don't want Edmonton to get one here and build momentum and build hope. Just want to smother the rest of this game out. Possess the puck. Shifts in the offensive zone if they can. Here's Harvey. He's knocked down. Matheos on him. Ian Kim couldn't dig it out of that pile. 5 players in after that puck. Montgomery now got a stick in there. It won't come out. Finally whistled dead. Not unhappy about that if you're Calgary to kill some clock. 7:50 left. And a really good opportunity here for CIHA to get their first win of this tournament. Leading an OHA Edmonton team that comes in amongst the favorites for sure. Calgary with a draw win, and that's thrown right over the glass and out of play. But there's no easy games at this event. If you're playing somebody, they're a team that could be one of the contenders in the league they come from. It is a stacked lineup of teams at the John Reid Memorial Tournament. That's why we see so many junior hockey scouts here. And that's played up by LaBelle and dumped deep inside the OHA zone. 7.5 minutes to go. Right behind the net. Nice job on the forecheck by Lefebvre. Knocked away by Pelech and cleared. Cross looking for Harlech. Pelech's with him. Harlech tried to get it to Pelech. Eventually bounced to him. Down goes the referee. As it's played back to the line for a shot. Whalen got it to the net. Save made by Montembeault. There was a rebound, but nobody there for Edmonton to get it. Back to the corner it goes. Collision behind the net as that's cleared out. Whalen. Turned it over. Chance for Calgary to extend their lead. Shot wide of the net, and then Gertzenbuehler got buried afterwards. 6.5 to go. Driving towards the goal, and a shot. Rebound! Harlock looking for it. Montembeault sprawled out. Not sure he caught that with the pad if it just went wide, but a great chance off the rush by Rideout, leading the rebound chance for Harlock. Edmonton needs one of those to go. They're down to 6 minutes left here. Pushed ahead. Now in behind the Edmonton net. I'll move that bank pass out to the neutral zone. Weisgerber, Forstall. Played to the line. Weisgerber's on it. Makes a move. Backhand across the front. Didn't get to Gillespie, who was pinching. Kept alive, though, for Edmonton by Pashko, who threw it to the net. And that's broken up and cleared. 5.5 minutes to go. 3 Calgary players on the rush. Otto takes a shot blocked. Gillespie's got it. Moves that up the wall. Here's Forstall. Dragging, wrapping around, centers. That didn't connect with Weisgerber. Harvey held it in. Nope, would have been offside. Had to back off. 5 minutes left. Matheos down the wing, gets caught with a hit by Harvey, but didn't dislodge him. Harvey on it behind the net. Edmonton had 7 shots in the first 5 minutes of this period. Only 4 since, as they turn it over here, and a save made by Germain. So yes, they've had 11 shots to 3 for Calgary in the period, but that attack really got slowed and stalled when they took the penalty. Levitt's penalty in the midst of the momentum Edmonton had been building. I think that might be the first shift now Levitt's out there. One of only a shift or 2 he's had since the penalty. Here's Miller. Got it to Levitt. Back to the line. Kim can't hold it in. And away goes Dingwall breaking in. Save made by Germain on the Calgary leading scorer, who reacts afterwards like he took a hack off the right hand. Don't see any signal. Great chance for Calgary to really put the game out of reach with their 21 goal man breaking in. Couldn't beat Germain. There's still life for Edmonton, but very slim life. And they'll control the puck off the draw. Pass up the middle, nicely done to Ian Kim. Takes it into the corner, got bumped. Chance to clear for Calgary, broken up by Martinek and centered. Pelech to the net! Oh my goodness, Kim stopped the goal! That was gonna go in! And Kim gets it back, and his shot blocker saved by Montembeault. Kim trying to finish it ends up taking the goal away from OHA Edmonton as that puck was heading in the net. Scored! Pelech gets it anyway. I'm sure relief for Ian Kim as Pelech ripped that upstairs. Edmonton finally breaks through here in the third period. And it's a 2-goal Calgary lead. Don't go anywhere. The offense OHA has got. We are not done. There's still 3.5 minutes to go. There's time for sure. What a wild moment there. As the puck, deflected by Lynham, was going slowly. And I think the idea for Kim was to try to hurry it along, but he ends up actually pulling it away from the goal line and then had his stick hit, taking away the goal from Edmonton. Play continued, and that's when Kobe Pelech got open at the right circle, and he ripped it. I'm not sure what the discussion is here now. That was a great shot by Pelech, who's got 12 goals in 16 regular season games. He's been around the puck all game. Oh. I think an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty here going to Edmonton. What a time for that. Just scoring to close the gap to 2. They were unhappy with something after the goal. It's got to be a player who's on the ice. They were trying to send Weisgerber into the box. It'll be Reid out who serves it instead. It's a mistake there for OHA Edmonton. Discipline's been a bit of an issue for them in this game. That's going to be the 6th power play of the game here for Calgary, but more than anything, it's the timing. They just scored. They had time left for sure. Couldn't contain themselves on the bench, and now Calgary has a chance to put the game out of reach again, and at the very least, kill some very significant clock. Work back to the line here for Calgary. Joe Marion to Pattison. For Joe Marion. Got a shooting. Decides to just keep it. Now a shot by Pattison through a maze of traffic. Remarkable. Germain was able to track that. He'll make the save. Glove stop hangs on. Germain has faced 29 Calgary shots in this game, stopped 25 of them. I think OHA Edmonton would get aggressive here while shorthanded. Worked around by Calgary. St. Louis shooting. Comes to the corner. Montgomery is out there with Pelech. They can't clear. Oh, that missed the stick of Whalen. And the net has come dislodged again. Interesting on the penalty kill throughout the game. It's been Pelech and Howrluck out there together. Now they have Pelech with Montgomery. Ultimately, I'm sure down 2:27 left. If you're Edmonton, you're looking for a chance to pressure the point and create a rush the other way. That's why you've seen more cautious play from the Calgary defenders here on this power play. Marion, St. Louis shooting, hit his own man in front. Dingwall. Joe Marion, St. Louis killing clock happily, centered, one-timer, just missed on the shot by Nicolat. 2 minutes left, third period. Here's Joe Marion, his shot blocked. Getting in the way there was Gillespie, thrown back out front by Nicolat. And Pelech had a chance to clear, tried to make a pass instead, doesn't get out. I understand why, though. You're trying to create offense here. Behind the net, Dingwall. Power play down to 5 seconds. Back to the line, St. Louis hopped away from him. Edmonton back to 5-on-5. Now need to get their goaltender to the bench. Nearly a collision between Germain and Gillespie. Down to a minute 20, and right to the bench goes Germain. And here comes the Edmonton attack. Driven towards the goal. Puck was still loose there for a moment. Now whistled as Montembeault was sprawled out. (4-2) Calgary International Hockey Academy leading Okanagan Hockey Academy Edmonton. 1:11 to go and a timeout called here by Edmonton to talk strategy. The reality of the situation for them is now not just needing 1 but 2 with the goaltender pulled, which also means you need the first one to happen fast. No dilly-dallying, as my dad always liked to say. They got to get the draw, get a puck to the net with traffic as quickly as they can, generate a goal, and give themselves enough time to try to get another one. That unsportsmanlike conduct penalty after they scored to make it 4-2 was so ill-timed for Edmonton. Took away a lot of the rope they had. But as we've said throughout this game, if there is a team that has the firepower to come from behind, OHA is certainly one of them. As deep a roster of offensive threats as there's going to be here. 1:11 to go. Pelech on the draw against Shudick. And a great job to step up on it and fire it to the empty net. Just wide by Nicolat. And that's an icing call. Nicolat read that play really well, but his shot misses. You know that's the instinct. Get it down the ice, get the empty netter. Could have killed more time, though. Instead, it's an icing. Another crack at it here for Edmonton. Clean draw win for Shudick. Played up the wall. Harvey lost it. Deflects out to the neutral zone. Edmonton's got to be quick. Montgomery dumps it in. Harluck after it. Well defended. Off a glove and out. Great job by CIHA. And here's Dingwall. Empty net. Oh, they're going to say it was offside, I think, as Dingwall puts it in. Play was whistled dead before he put the puck in for sure. Referees are gathering. That will be the call of the offside. Germain stays on the bench for Edmonton. They somehow still have enough clock here. 44 seconds they could still maybe get to if they hurry. Oh, and a little trip. Edmonton gets away with one there as Dingwall got tripped in the corner. Here's Harluck. Dishes it over, and a good defensive play made by Joe Marion. Cleared out. Now, Nicolat had his stick hit. Oh, and a save at the empty net by Gillespie. Shudick can't get it through. Well, back in comes Harluck. Running out of time here. And Calgary can't buy the empty netter. They're not going to worry about it. But boy, they had about 5 or 6 cracks at that empty net. It won't go. The bigger issue, the more important issue for the Calgary International Hockey Academy is that they've shut down the vaunted OHA Edmonton offense. And it's a 4-2 win for CIHA over OHA Edmonton. An impressive performance by Calgary from start to finish. Some stretches, as there's going to be, where they were on their heels a bit, but a great job overall to get this first win at the John Reid Memorial Tournament. Teams will shake hands, and then we'll see the players of the game presented in just a moment. But statement win for CIHA. It's a 1-1 game after one. Goals scored for Calgary by Jace Morey, for Edmonton by Nate Harrington. In the second period, Bennett Pattison and Cole Chuddick pulled CIHA up 3-1. They extended the lead to 4-1 in the third period on the goal by Loic LaBelle. And OHA answering late. Colby Pellick scoring to close the gap to 2. But an immediate unsportsmanlike conduct penalty with 3.5 minutes to go really sealed Edmonton's fate in this one. And Edmonton taking 6 penalties, allowing 6 power plays against, only getting 1 themselves in this game. That was certainly a factor in this one. But Calgary did a great job defensively to slow the attack by OHA Edmonton, only giving up the 2 goals on 34 shots for Edmonton, 30 for Calgary. Edmonton out shooting them substantially in the third, but not able to break through. Player of the game for OHA Edmonton, Colby Pellick, who did a great job on the penalty kill, generated chances there, scored one late in the third to give his team a chance. And the player of the game for Calgary International Hockey Academy, Alexander Montembeault, who was excellent, making 32 saves, including a few real good ones that may end up on the highlight reel, as he does a great job helping his team to an impressive 4-2 victory to start the John Reid Memorial Tournament. Calgary International Hockey Academy 4, OHA Edmonton 2. Game 1 of this great tournament in the books for both these teams, and I'm sure they'll both be in the mix as we move along. You're watching the 2026 John Reid Memorial Tournament live from St. Albert on HN Live.
Join the HN Live family with its new video platform,